Welcome everybody. So this is a tutorial to show to you how you can use YouTube live streaming in order to set up an environment to run an online course, a tutorial or anything like that. So a disclaimer, there are lots of things you can make much more interactive or sophisticated or professionally looking here, but I'm aiming to give you a quick and easy way to get started with everything you need. And the framework I'm going to show you will already have quite some interactive possibilities in order to communicate with your audience, with your students. So you will show yourself via a webcam, you will share your screen, and there also will be a web chat provided by YouTube, which you can use to interact with your students directly by asking them, hey, are you still with me? And then they can write in the chat and give you answers and ask you questions. So from my experience, the setup I'm giving you is a simple setup, but it will give you the possibility of running a complete course from A to Z. Okay, let's dive into it. So here we go. So here I have a slide set which I'm going to use to structure what I'm going to talk about. So it's called How to Set Up Live Streaming with YouTube for Online Teaching, the quick and easy way, in parentheses. And I have here a homepage of mine where you will find under tutorials a PDF sheet which details the steps we are going to through again as a summary. So in case you want to go there and look that up. Okay, so let's jump into it right away. So first question, why YouTube? Well, it's free. So that's really awesome. And all the tools we're going to use now in the front end will going to be free tools. But I also will rely on your common sense here and there, in the sense that there are certain things where I just ask you, this is the next step, go do it, and then come back to the description of this tutorial here. Okay, so let's see how we can get this started. So the first thing we have to do is we have to use our YouTube account. We have to have a YouTube channel. And of course, for that you need a YouTube account, and you might not have that. So for that you would have to jump over to the youtube.com page and set up your YouTube account. That is something I'm going to ask you to do by yourself. I will not go through all the different steps here. There are plenty of explanations given by YouTube how to do that. It's very simple. So you have to start your YouTube account and you have to make it feasible to do live stream. So you have to activate live streaming in your account. Again, something like that's also simple to do. And there is actually a page which gives you already a lot of information how to start live streaming with YouTube, which is the link given here. Or if we jump over, which would link you towards this page here, create a live stream with an encoder. And there you have a video where you get some first information. And on the right hand side here, you have a couple of more links related to that topic, and for example, how to enable live streaming in your YouTube account. So that would be explained how you do this here. Yeah. So for the moment, I assume you head over to YouTube, start your YouTube account, and when you have done with that, we can move on in the tutorial. Okay, so how do we set up the live streaming now? There are, in YouTube land, there are two ways. One way is the super quick and dirty way, which is the webcam streaming way. And the other one is the streaming with the streaming software, and that's what we're mainly going to focus on. So let's head over to YouTube and let's see how we can get this started. So I'm going over to YouTube and we have my basically YouTube account, which you see by my little photo over here. Very nice. And now there are two ways how we can start YouTube live streams. One is via this little camera icon here, go live. Or what I prefer, which is a slightly more professional way of doing it, go to your YouTube studio. The YouTube studio is actually the area in your account where you can maintain your videos, your uploads, your live streams, etc., etc. So we're heading over to the YouTube studio, which is opening now. And for example, to the left, I would have my videos. These are lectures I have been uploading in the past, for example. Here you have your live streams. This shows live streams I have been running, and also the live streams which we're going to do in the future will be shown up here. You can maintain them, you can edit details of the live streams, look at the analytics, comments, You can watch it on YouTube, and you can also erase live streams, etc., etc. Okay. All right, so but now let's get started. So here we have again this button create. So we hit this button create and we go live. So we want to start a live stream. And this live stream will now give me the possibility to set up different types of live streams. Since I have been using it, it will ask me copy and create an already existing live stream or a new live stream. So I want to start a completely new live stream. And up here we have 3 ways now: webcam, stream, and manage. So webcam would be the quick and dirty type of live stream, which is really only sharing your webcam and talking into the webcam. But actually we want to focus on using YouTube live streaming with streaming software. And the different steps we need to do, I will explain you in a minute. So we start now setting up the stream by giving it a name. So we want to call it tutorial, or whatever name you want to give it, tutorial. And then we have to first think about who is our audience. Do we want to make it publicly available, or is it only unlisted? And then we get a link, a specific internet address which we can share with our audience, or is it only private for our means? Audience, here it's important to say no, it's not made for kids. And then we create the stream. Okay, so now this will bring up a window which is sort of the settings window of our live stream, where we now have to make ourselves aware of a couple of things. So first of all, you see here's a live chat, and this will be the chat where you can interact with your students. So when I have, for example, run an online Q&A, what I sometimes do is I pause after I answer the question, say, hey, this is the person still online who asked this question, and did it work out what I answered you, and did it help you? And then usually I get some sort of answer like, hey, yeah, helpful, or he repeats a certain aspect, or she repeats a certain aspect. So here you can write in this web chat, and then it will pop up in the communication. And a good thing about this, just to make you aware of it, you can actually pop out this chat. So you can take it out and you can move it around on your screen, so that you have it always visible in front of you next to your teaching material in forms of the slides, for example, or so. Yeah? I want to restore the chat again so that I have it back in my main window again. Good, so next thing we need to be aware of, at the moment no data is flowing. We still have not made any content available to this live chat. And what we're now going to do is we will set up a live streaming software which is called OBS, which is again a free software, and we need to make some settings in order to connect YouTube with the live streaming software. This live streaming software will actually record our different devices which we share with the students or the audience. So whether this is a webcam or whether this is a desktop screen we want to share, this will all be captured by the software OBS, and then will be passed on to the YouTube live stream. Okay, so how do we make this connection? We need a stream key, a streaming key, which is given here, which will be used to connect the OBS software and the stream and the YouTube live stream. And now one thing I just want to do with you, you can auto-generate every time you start a live chat or a live stream, you can auto-generate a new key. But if you do this very often, if you run several lectures or so, you might want to fix it so that you don't have to do this over and over again. So you can do this by going to the stream key and you go create a new stream key. If we do that and we give it a name, let's say tutorial or tut1, you have a couple of settings here. We keep it like that. We keep it everything more or less standard at the moment. That should work for our case. There are many things you can play around with, bandwidth, latency, lots of things. We keep it standard for the moment. That should work. So tut1. And now we have this stream key which we can choose here, and which sort of every time we want to run a live stream, which will stay constant, and this is what we're going to use in order to paste it into our OBS software. So I will copy it now, so it's now in my clipboard. One thing is you can make it visible, but you shouldn't do that because you don't want to share this with anybody else. As soon as you share it with some outsider, he can hijack your live stream and can take over your live stream, and you don't want to have that. So be careful with the stream key, don't share it with anybody. So I copied it now, and up here you see in that window, connect streaming software to start review. So what we have to do now is we have to start or connect our software. Okay, so let's jump over to the next slide, streaming software. The streaming software which I recommend to you to use, again, there are several streaming softwares out there. I use this one because it's free. It is quite resource intensive, so if you have an old laptop or desktop, like 10 years old or something like that, you might run into a bit troubles. But for what we do here, we don't do professional gaming, streaming or anything like that. So for that, it should be totally fine. Okay, so OBS, you could jump over to the OBS page, obsproject.com. Here you can download for Windows, Mac, Linux. It's totally free, no cost. It's awesome for such a powerful software. So I assume now you have done this, you downloaded OBS Studio, and you have been running the setup and the installation procedure. And now we want to bring up the OBS Studio, so we started. So I bring it up here. And now we have to set up OBS Studio. So this is roughly how it would look like when you open it. Probably your OBS software already finds certain devices. So here already automatically the audio is captured via my audio device. Yeah, so that's good. That already works. And then you see this blank screen, and this blank screen is your canvas. That is basically the canvas we're gonna stream to YouTube and then to the world. And we now have to set up what we want to stream, which device. We can build our canvas, we can build and set it up however we want. Settings. So we want to go to the settings of OBS, which is over here. And basically pretty much just look the same for all platforms. You would have all the same kind of settings and tools, whether you're on a Linux or a Windows or Mac computer. So here we want to jump to output, and a couple of those I only make aware to you. We still work with the most simple settings. You have advanced settings where you can do much more sophisticated things. Don't do this. Simple video bit rate is the bandwidth which we produce a video. The higher the better the quality, but that depends on your internet connection and so forth. And this concludes actually for the moment the setup. Let's now make the actual connection between the YouTube and the software. So we head over to OBS, and what we actually do is we start the streaming here with this button, start streaming. And if we do that, OBS starts to stream into the internet. You see the green button that gives us a good signal. That means we have a healthy stream. And over to the left you see we have excellent connection, so excellent status. That's very good. Okay, let's now try to go live. So I'm going live by hitting the live button, and now actually YouTube is making the connection to the world and is going to be live pretty soon. So now it builds up the connection, and now we're actually live. So now you see here in the top live, you see seconds running, so we are 7 seconds live. Okay, how do we share our stream? So here, if you go to this button up here, if you hit this button, the share button, you see this internet link here. And this internet link, internet address, will point now exactly to our live stream. So this is what you want to copy, and either by Facebook, Twitter, or rather email or whatever means you have, you can send this now to your audience, and they can then move to that address, use this link to move in YouTube to that particular live stream and can watch your lecture and your tutorial. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I will end this live stream. So after my hour of teaching, I'm done. I hit the end stream button, which will stop the live stream. Are you sure that you want to end your stream? Yes, I'm sure. So I will end this stream. And then it gives me some summary statistics, and I can actually add it in Studio. So I can jump over to YouTube Studio by hitting this button, and can adjust some of the settings. What I also want to do is now in OBS is done with streaming, so I also want to stop the streaming here in order to reduce the load on my computer. So here's now my recorded videos, and I see the video has descriptions I can give it. I can give a better title here. I can write something about what's actually happening in the lecture. Okay, so that concludes. Here also the link in case you want to share this video afterwards. That's the link you can send out to people. Of course, you can incorporate this to your web page and so on and so forth. That's it. That concludes the tutorial. To wrap it up real quick, what do we need to do? We need to set up a YouTube account. From the YouTube account, then we can start setting up a live stream. In order to have a certain interactive capabilities, we need to have a live stream software, which is OBS. So we need to make a connection with the stream key. And then we have a couple of settings to do in OBS in terms of audio, video, and the scenes I've been talking about. And if you have set this up, you can start streaming in OBS, which makes then actually a connection with the YouTube live stream, and you will go live and you can share the link of your live stream with your audience and you're good to go. That's it for now. Thanks for listening, and I hope it will help you to set up your own tutorials and lectures. From my past, this is absolute fun, in particular if you can then communicate via the web chat also with your students and your audience. That makes it really like a lot of fun, and students usually are very appreciative about this. That's for now. See you another time.